Hi there and welcome to my channel. Spring is here and it's time for fresh flowers, strawberry picking, spring cleaning, baking bread and pound cake, and lots of bright sunny days. On my channel, we talk about how to make the most of every season and look for the joy in the seemingly simplest of things. In this video, I'm going to share my spring bucket list as well as spring-themed movie and book recommendations to get you ready and excited to welcome this beautiful season. Okay, so I thought I would start off with my spring bucket list. We've got a lot of exciting ideas. The first thing is to decorate for spring. I obviously already did this. I have a video up on it if you want to go check it out. And the second is to have a garden tea party. We did an indoor tea party and it was beautiful. I also have a video of all the setup and everything for that, so you can go get ideas and inspiration. It was very cute and we had a lot of fun. Next is have a picnic. This is something I feel like we kind of just do every season and it's always so nice. It's so enjoyable that we take the time to actually do it. And next is to go to high tea. So there's a lot of really beautiful high tea locations in Atlanta that I would love to actually take my mom to. I think that that would be a really sweet little mom and daughter date. Next is to transform our outdoor space. So in my last vlog, I talked a little bit about like my plan for our outdoor area. It definitely needs some help and I'm planning on doing like a whole series of transforming that. So definitely subscribe if you want to see that, but that's a good idea even if you just have like a little porch to give it a little sprucing up for the spring season. Next is a given, and that is to plant flowers. I'm planning on taking a trip to the garden center soon to pick up some seeds and to pick up some that are already in bloom, but you could even just bring fresh flowers into your home. I think that that's always a really wonderful way to celebrate the season. Next is to go strawberry picking. This is another tradition of ours. We absolutely love doing this for a little date idea. You can also go in summer. I think strawberries are still in season, but we really prefer to do spring because the weather is just so much more enjoyable. Next is to go to a lavender farm. So this is something that I kind of just saw on Instagram and I didn't even know that they had them in Georgia. I just didn't really think about it, but it looks so beautiful. I need to look up the perfect time to go. And my friend was actually just telling me about that they have lavender festivals where you can go and you can pick fresh lavender. So that is definitely something I want to do and something that you could look into for your area as well. Next is to start a book collection. I already have quite a few books, like just random ones lying around, but I would really love to start a collection of like the collector's editions of some classics. One of my goals for the spring season is to read more. So in doing that, I would love to invest in some of the like really beautiful covered classic books. Next is to go to farmers markets. This is on my list almost every single season, but since they weren't really out during fall and winter, I'm really excited for them to come back. So we definitely want to visit as many farmers markets this season as possible. Next is to bake bread. I've got my sourdough starter now, which I'm super excited about, but also garden focaccia is really good in spring. Just overall, fresh bread baking in spring is definitely a must. Next is to thrift shop for spring dresses. I'm trying to be more mindful about the clothing pieces that I bring into our home, but I just discovered a brand new thrift shop and I'm really excited to go explore it. Next is to paint tapered candles. I've seen this all over Pinterest lately, and I just think that would be a really fun little craft. Again, one of my goals for the springtime is to take more time to make crafts and make things with my hands. So that is one project because I've been really into tapered candles lately. I would love to paint little flowers on them. Next, we have make lavender lemonade with our fresh lavender, of course, that we pick, hopefully. I would love to experiment with different lemonade recipes because that is one of Colby's favorite drinks. Next is to start consuming local honey. So this is one thing that I have heard time and time again really helps with allergies. And of course, I just always forget to take it, but it's something you're supposed to take every day throughout the year. So I want to start now in spring consuming the local honey, and hopefully that will make a difference for next year. Next is kind of local to Georgia, but you can definitely look up other restaurants in your area that might have the same vibe. But on my bucket list is to go to the Select or the Garden Room in Atlanta. If you look these places up, they are just absolutely gorgeous. Like they just look like if spring made a restaurant, and I would really love to take the time to go there this season. Next is to start a butterfly garden. So in my outdoor transformation, that is something that I would love to incorporate. I absolutely adore butterflies and I would love to give them a space where they can just flourish. The last thing is to visit botanical gardens. So Atlanta has a huge, really beautiful botanical garden, which I love. But upon investigating a little bit further, I found a lot of smaller botanical gardens in Georgia that I would love to go explore. So that's something that you could look up for your area as well. Even if you don't think that you have them, just double check because they might be hidden gems around. Other than that, that is it for my spring bucket list. I'm super excited. We already started on it a little bit, but I'm excited to check more things off. Next up is my spring movie recommendations. These are movies that are just either centered around springtime or just give off very spring vibes. I'm not going to go into detailing the movies too much because I feel like a lot of them are widely known, but this is a really good list of movies to get you in the mood for spring. The first one is Pride and Prejudice. I really love the Keira Knightley one. I think that movie is just so beautiful and it's perfect spring movie. Next, keeping with Jane Austen, we have Emma. I really love the Gwyneth Paltrow one. I think that one is just such a beautiful classic. But there's also the newer one, which I think it was 2020 or I forget the year that it came out, but I haven't seen it yet. So the new one is also going on my list. Next is a classic that I actually have never seen. It's Finding Neverland. I have heard really good things about this movie, and I've heard that the aesthetics in it are just perfect for spring, so I'm putting it on my list so that I make sure I watch it this season. Next is the movie Letters to Juliet. I feel like maybe not a lot of people know about this movie. It's with Amanda Seyfried, and it is a cheesy, adorable little rom-com about this writer who goes to Italy and she finds an old letter that was written to her long-lost love, and she ends up helping this older woman to try and find her long-lost love. And it's a beautiful story and it gives very spring aesthetics, so I thought I would add it in. Next is a pretty obvious one, and that's The Sound of Music. Obviously, it's just such a classic, such a beautiful movie, and you can never go wrong with it. The next one is You've Got Mail, another classic. I mean, the flower scene at the end, just so perfect for spring, and if you haven't seen it yet, I would definitely add that one to your list. The next one is Ever After. This one I feel like is a little bit underrated. It is a Cinderella story starring Drew Barrymore, and it is actually my favorite adaptation of a Cinderella story. I think it is just so beautiful, and the butterfly wings, everything, it's just a beautiful movie, and definitely put that on your list if you haven't seen it. Next, in keeping with the Cinderella theme, is the movie Cinderella, the live action version. I think this movie is so beautiful. The actress does, her name is leaving me right now, but the main actress does such a beautiful job, and it's honestly one of my favorite movies. Next is Mary Poppins. Again, the classic is just Julie Andrews. It's just so perfect, the classic one, but we also love the new version. If you haven't seen that one as well, they both give off very much spring energy. Next up is Christopher Robin. That movie is so cute. And the last two that I have are two animated movies. If you like those, we have Bambi and A Bug's Life. I can't watch Bambi, it's too sad, but it is very spring, and A Bug's Life is a classic. I haven't seen it in years, so I definitely wanted to add that to my list. And that's it for my spring movie recommendations. Let's move on to books. Okay, so I don't have as many book recommendations just because I don't get to read as often as I would like, and two books that I haven't even read yet, but they have been recommended to me, so I thought I would share. The first book is A Poem for Every Spring Day. This is just a collection of poems. It literally gives you one for the morning and one for the nighttime. I'm a little bit into it so far. I think I'm still in March, so I have some catching up to do, but I am just loving this so far, and there's just something about reading poetry in spring that is so poetic. Next is The Secret Garden, which look at how beautiful this is. This is the first book in my book collection. This is such a classic story, as well as the movie is a great movie to add to your spring movie list, but I'm super excited to finish reading this. Next is a book that I haven't read yet. It's called Bird Cottage. I have heard such wonderful things about this, that it's just a very cottagecore spring read, and I'm excited to add it to my book list. The next book is A Walk to Remember. This is a Nicholas Sparks novel. It's actually my favorite Nicholas Sparks book. It was also made into a movie with Mandy Moore and Shane West, which is a really good movie too. It is a very sad read. It is about a troubled teen who meets a young girl who is very based in just love and faith, and she ends up saving him. It is so beautiful, and again, very sad, so watch out for that, but this is one of my favorite books. And the last book that I have is also one that I haven't read yet, but the cover alone is so cute. It's by Ash, Oak, and Thorn. I've heard really good things about this book, and I'm really excited to add it to my book list. And that is going to do it for my spring recommendations. I hope that that gave you some inspiration and gets you excited to welcome the spring season. Thank you so much for watching. It would mean so much if you could subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more spring videos coming up, so until next time, bye!